Thursday's match of the day in the Premier League. Manchester United visiting Sheffield United, where they get a 3-2 win, a win that sees Manchester United move up to 6th in the table. Couple goals for Marcus Rashford, one for Anthony Martial. For more, we're joined by Don Hutchison, Shaka Hislop, and Steve Nicol. Don, I'll start with you. Manchester United never better than when they go down a goal early, huh?
It's incredible, huh? 6 times now they've done it, a record in the Premier League. They took a couple of punches in the face very early on. In fact, they should have been 2-0 behind. John Fleck had a great chance where he should have made it 2-0. But they were well worth the 3 points tonight. I think the scoreline in the end slightly flatters Sheffield United. Man U bossed the second half. They took control of the game. They started creating some really good chances. A little bit nervy towards the end, but they got the job done.
Stevie, what'd you make of the Manchester United performance? Specifically, Paul Pogba had an assist on the second goal, critical in the third goal as well, and got to start.
Well, we know that Pogba's got ability, and when you give him space and time, and you have a high back line that tries to stay high when there's no pressure on the ball, then somebody with his talent and brains is going to hurt you. And, you know, a couple of great balls in behind. And generally, Pogba looked like the Pogba we thought Man United were getting. But he's not going to get the time and space that he got today from most other teams in the Premier League. But, hey, we always say, you can only play well regardless of the opposition. And, yes, Manchester United, I agree with Dom, definitely deserved the 3 points. And Pogba was good, yes.
Shaka, Dean Henderson gets the start today in place of David De Gea. Has a howler on the opening goal for Sheffield United. What'd you make of his performance, both from that goal and then after it, his response?
Well, started off shakily, as you rightly point out, Seb, but I thought kind of gathered himself and played pretty well from then on in. Listen, I think Sheffield United, given how well they know Dean Henderson, maybe figured that was something they could find some joy from in the first set piece, boxing him in, not allowing him to leave his line, and then closing him down when seemingly in comfortable possession. To make that bigger howler that early on in a game that would mean as much to him emotionally is tough. But I thought from then on in, he equipped himself well. Nothing he could do about the second goal. Made a very good save late on for United to keep hold of all 3 points. So all in all, happy. Just fix his start, please.
We have talked a lot on this show, Don, about the inconsistency in the players at Manchester United. But today, you look at a guy like Anthony Martial, great game, gets the goal, and Marcus Rashford, it's cliche to say it at this point, but so electric in the open field.
Yeah, the kid's different class, everything that he does on and off the pitch. But tonight he was world class. His first goal was just incredible. Long ball from Lindelof over the top. As Stevie said, Sheffield United high line. So when you analyse that from a Sheffield United point of view, Chrissy Wilder won't be happy. But as he judges the flight of the ball and the pace that's on it, he just watches it come over his right shoulder. And the first touch that he makes, just cushioning that first touch, a feather-like touch, sets himself right into his stride as well. He doesn't have to break stride. Then a beautiful strike. And then his second goal of the game was I think Dean Henderson should have done a lot better. Aaron Ramsdale should have done a lot better when he sort of scuffed. But it was a very, very good move, a fluent move, all the big boys involved. Scruffy finish in the end, but his performance was sensational.
Stevie, if you look at the table here, Manchester United in 6th with a game in hand. If they were to win that game in hand, they'd be as high as 2nd right now. They're ahead of Chelsea. They're ahead of Manchester City. But we spend a lot of time on this show criticizing this team. For all that, have we been a little bit too harsh when you look at their actual spot in the table?
No, I don't think so. I think the one thing we have done here in this show is when they've played well, we've said they've played well. And when they've been rotten, we've said they've been rotten. Now, unfortunately for them, it's a toss of a coin what they're going to be. They're either going to be really, really good, and we can talk nice things about them and talk about Pogba, how good he is, and we can talk about how world-class Rashford is, and we can say all these nice things, but at the same time, when they're just rotten, we have to do the same. So when you look at the table and you look what possibly, or the position they possibly could be in, it seems amazing, as bad as they've been at times this year, how they could end up as high as they could.
Don, it does seem amazing.
Sebby, on that form as well. I mean, that's how inconsistent they've been. When you look at Man United's away form, in the form table, they're sitting top. away form, they're fourth bottom. So that tells you how inconsistent this United side is.
Shaka?
Here's the other thing to Man United, as we've seen this season. I think, yes, absolutely right. Given some of their performances and some of the criticism they've received from us, it is surprising to be talking about a United team that could potentially be sitting in second. But you've seen the best of Manchester United against the likes of Sheffield United, against West Ham a couple of weeks ago, where I thought they were simply outstanding. But when you compare United and their record against the other teams who, well, if you compare them to the teams that finished in the top 8 last season, we always have these little mini tables at the top of the table. United actually haven't fared well against the traditional better teams in the league. They've had good results against Everton, against Southampton this season, who are up there. But against the Leicester, Wolves, Spurs, the top 8 from last season, I think they've played 4 games and have picked up 2 points from those 4 games. That speaks a lot to maybe their feelings against who you expect to be the better teams. I say who you expect because I realize exactly where City and Arsenal are right now.
Don, is it worth putting an asterisk, giving some context to this Manchester United performance, given it came against a Sheffield United team that has 1 point so far this season?
No, I think I think their performance was good. I think the overall performance was good, as the guy said, after a shaky start, and they always seem to lose a goal, which is terrible. It's something that they've got to fix because you can't keep doing that. You can't keep giving away goals and coming back and getting away with it. But I thought their performance in general was good because in the second half, even though people might look at the scoreline and think it's 3-2, well, that must have been a close one, they still created some really good chances. Martial had a big chance in the second half. Greenwood had one. Juan Mata had another. Wan-Bissaka was making good moves into the box, and a better ball from him would have had a Bruno Fernandes tap in. So I think when Ole analyses the performance, there'll be bits where you can say they can improve for sure. But that performance was much better than what I've seen away from home for quite a while, I think.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.